last week of October. So I want to try to get in the bow stand every chance I can. I've been spending a ton of time grouse hunting this year. But now it's definitely getting to be game time for the deer hunting. Cameras are starting to show some good buck activity on my home farm. But we are on a permission property. Just trying to squeeze a quick hunt in here. My son has hockey. I got to be to the arena by 7. So I want to just make sure that I'm in a spot where I can make a quick getaway, so to speak, and get on the road and get to hockey. So we are in a ground blind. My son is with me, hiding back there, and we just got to make sure by like 7:40, 7:35 that we pack up and we get out of here. Either way, we got probably 2.5 hours. So we're gonna give this spot a try. This is a spot that is really good in the month of September. But September was so hot this year that, gosh, I think I hunted it once or twice only. I saw both deer both times I was here early season. But then it tends to shut down once the leaves drop. It just gets back behind me. It gets very open, and the deer tend to hug to the cover a little further west down the ridge from here. So still, we had pictures of a couple of nice bucks up here back in August, and then the very first week of September. I have not ran cameras now on this property for 3 or 4 weeks, probably 4 weeks. So I don't know. Didn't see any kind of ground scrapes or tree rubs or anything walking in here, but I just know those bucks do live somewhere on this property right now, and maybe we'll get lucky and they'll come up here before dark. Otherwise, I do have doe tags for this area, so I will shoot a doe if we get a good clean shot at doe tonight. But kind of as we hit this late October time, we're really starting to key in on trying to fill that buck tag before gun season. Guys, it's getting dark in the blind here, but we've got about 15 minutes left of legal shooting, and just shot a doe. We had 4 does come up through here this evening. I don't know exactly on the hit. It was midway up the body. I'm hoping it was through the lungs, but shooting lighted knock, so we're gonna get out here and we're gonna look for the arrow. And then I'm probably gonna have to run my son to hockey practice and come back out here. But we're gonna go out right now and look for the arrow. All right, guys, we're back out on the hunting property here. It's been 2 hours since I shot that doe. I found initial blood, and we got out because I had to bring my son to hockey practice, and it was their initial parent meeting, pick up jerseys, have practice. So I had to be there for that, and we couldn't just go right after that deer. I found bright pink blood, but the blood had acorns, like crushed acorns in it, so I know for a fact that arrow exited far back. My hope, I felt like I hit about, 6 inches behind the front shoulder, but up, kind of midline of the body. So I'm hoping I took out the back of those lungs and then maybe just exited far back. I could not find my arrow. I am shooting a lighted knock, but out of a ground blind. I don't know where that arrow went. It might have deflected. It might have shot 50 yards past her on that little side hill she was on. So anyway, we're gonna go back in. It's been 2 hours. We're gonna see what there is for blood. If I'm just finding gut, we're gonna back out and we're gonna come in the morning. But if I find some good blood, if I'm able to hopefully find the arrow, then we might continue the track tonight. But if she's hit through the back of the lungs, 2 hours, she should be dead. If we're looking at straight guts, then yeah, we don't have a choice. We got to back out, even though this property, the timber wolves are on this property very frequently, and there's a lot of bear on this property. We have had, it's been quite a few years now, but we've had one deer get eaten by the bears, and we had another one that we shot and let lay for 2 hours, and the timber wolves got it. So it is a potential. That's why if the deer is dead, I want to make sure I get on it here and I don't wait till morning. But the worst thing you can do is bump a deer once it's gut shot too. So we don't want to do that either. It's kind of a tough situation, but we're gonna get out there and see what we got. All right, guys, well, the video is going to be kind of poor. I apologize for that, but we got her. I came down. I ended up finding the arrow, and the arrow is, it's covered with guts, but obviously it was covered with blood too. I thought I was a little further behind the shoulder, but man, I hit her right on the edge of the shoulder, just 10-ringed her, and the arrow came out, I would say, right about here on her. So it got both lungs. It got probably the back of the liver as it went out. And she is a big doe. I did not realize she was quite this big of a doe. So I got about 20 minutes. I got to get her gutted out and drug out, and I got to get back and get my son from hockey. But yeah, nice big doe, 30-yard shot, and we made a perfect shot on her. So stressed out, let her lay for 2 hours, and I probably didn't need to, but it's all good. It's way better than bumping them. If you can wait a couple hours, that's just such a better alternative than charging right in and kicking a deer out of its bed. So we should have a pretty short drag out to the power lines. I should be able to drive my truck down to her. Hey guys, next day. So the video last night I shot a pretty nice doe, actually. I didn't realize she was that big when I shot her. There were 4 deer that came in. There were some fawns and a yearling doe in her. Came out a little too far away, about 60-ish yards, and I think the last deer that came out might have been more like 50. They came around the blind, and I'll just tell you, I hate hunting blinds. That blind in particular is a homemade blind. So I had the camera in the front side window, and I ended up shooting her out of the back window. I ended up having to move my chair and get all the way turned and kneel, and it just was kind of a fiasco. Like, it just seems like it always is out of blinds. I've only killed 2 deer out of blinds now. I'd much rather be up in a tree, but just not every area is conducive to a tree. That spot, there's like a 90-degree corner in an old 4-wheeler trail, and there's no spot on that corner where you can see down both lanes. And it's just, it's a great spot to bow hunt. They come up that hillside really nicely. So I've shot a bunch of deer out of that area, but 2 out of that ground blind that's there. Anyway, talking about the shot, I kind of touched on it last night. I thought the entrance looked good. My concern was that she had turned and quartered to me. I thought it was maybe a little behind the shoulder, but it was right on the shoulder. And then it exited still in the rib cage, but the back of the rib cage. So that's where the gut came from. That's where it was like crushed up acorns. The reason I decided to track her last night is everything I was finding was bright pink. Even the stuff that had acorns in it was pink. If you're finding bright pink, that's a really good indication that you got lung blood. Dark red would be your liver. And if you had liver and guts, you know, that's a deer you're gonna leave overnight. If everything was like brownish and greenish in color, that's just straight gut, and that's a deer you're gonna leave overnight. But when I started finding the bright pink, that was my indication that I had for sure gotten lungs. And I tracked that deer my guess is 250 yards. It was for sure over 200. She went a long ways, but it was a very easy track. I followed blood the entire way. Even going that far, it took me maybe a half an hour to track her. And then as you saw last night, the shot was right on the shoulder. I got both lungs, and she was extremely stiff. She had died right away, and that was only 2 hours later. So she never bedded down. She went until she died. So that's what you want, is a nice quick kill. But still, waiting 2 hours because I wasn't sure is usually a good decision. So that was a CWD disease management tag. It's a CWD area. I have to get that doe tested. So we'll bring the tests into the DNR, or the self-test kit that I have, and I could potentially shoot 3 more does out of that area. I do have 1 more of the disease management tags. So if I am bow hunting there this weekend, and I get another good chance, I could take another doe out of that spot.